First of all, let's raise our voices a little young, because you know what? The governor doesn't think you exist. Let's let him know you exist. I've watched the governor go back and forth the last couple of weeks with moving up on his gun bill, proposing this and proposing that, and when he talks like we don't exist. Let him know that today. Let's hear out. Let's make sure we hear that. Say, why do you oppose the governor's bill? Why do you oppose the governor's bill? Let's just look at a couple of things in the governor's bill. Licensing. You know what? If the governor has his way, the only people who have guns in this state will be rich people and criminals. Exactly right. Why? Because his licensing proposal says, first of all, you're going to need a new license. You got to be fingerprinted. You got to pay for that. You're going to have to take off work to get it. He wants additional training up to 8 hours. You're going to have to pay for that, take off work to get it. He wants shooting proficiency. We haven't quite figured out in this bill, how can you have proficiency if you got to have a license first, and you can't get a license unless you have shooting proficiency, but he hasn't quite worked that out yet, okay? So you're going to have to take off work and pay the live shoot. At the end of the day, estimates are this new licensing requirement going to cost you over $400 before you even get in the game. Under that proposal, only rich people will have guns in this state. And you know, there's another time when the government tried to block people from being able to exercise their right. And that's when the government instituted a poll tax. And yeah, it was the same argument during those times. You got to write, you got to pay, because after all, if you care, you should pay, and you should have education. And again, that education is what kept a lot of people from voting in this country. So what we need to tell the governor today, while you're down here, is that owning a gun and using a gun is a right. And you shouldn't have to go out and get a license to exercise a right. In effect, what the governor's proposed is a poll tax on your right to own a gun, and that's wrong. You know, also provisions in the governor's bill. The idea will be that a person could go and serve his country in Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere else, come home, buy a gun, and under the governor's law, the way it's written right now, because if he's under 21 or she's under 21, they won't be able to buy munitions for that gun. So how do you explain to the person that served this country, may have served on foreign soil, yet he comes back to the state of Maryland, and under the governor's proposal, he won't be able to buy munitions for a gun he bought legally? There's something really, really wrong for that. And last in the governor's bill, that definitely jumps at you as you read this plus 30-page document that was slapped together in the middle of the night. You can tell when you read it. There's the idea that he defers to the superintendent of state police. They refer to it as secretary in the bill over and over and over again. And why it's so important that you came here today is we need to hold the governor accountable, because what they're basically doing is passing a bill, then they're going to have the state police write the regulations afterwards. And as all of you know that are in this crowd, those regulations aren't going to favor gun ownership in the state of Maryland. And no way they're going to do that.